To be successful, you got to make smart moves at the right time. We're seeing a shift with the technology that's available today, and now is the right time to make this type of an investment.
Principal LED has always been known for anticipating what's coming next, being able to solve a problem before the problem comes up.
Oftentimes, the most elegant innovations are sometimes the simplest ones.
Our customers kind of basically said, hey, we need a replacement for fluorescence. And that's what our original Quick Stick did in 2014.
You know, our tagline is we speak sign language. This is all we do. And we understand what our customers need. And it's not just around products, but we have a lot of other areas of innovation, either through our systems, our software, our support. As a kid, we're always taught to treat people better than you'd want to be treated. Everyone that works at this company cares. And we tend to align ourselves with customers who have that same mindset, have that same character.
We're a very relationship-driven industry. We want every Principal LED customer to feel like their family.
I feel like our customers feel a sense of that personal touch. They get that comes across through the people that we have that work for this company, and that on a daily basis talk to the customers.
We have the best team in the industry, hands down.
Innovation is never being satisfied with where we are at.
What we're doing right now is going to be huge, and that is onshoring of the new manufacturing process. What you're seeing behind us is a lot of automation, a lot of robotics.
It allows us to take raw LEDs, convert them to final product, but do it in more of a just-in-time manner. We'll be able to provide custom color temperatures, custom wire spacings.
We're the first to do that in our space, and nobody else has actually built modules and done that here in the U.S. Ultimately deliver a better quality, better performing system with better longevity and life expectancy. At the end of the day, we want to build the best quality out there, and what's behind me is going to do that.
It's quality, innovation, service.
It's simplifying the lives of our customers.
I think that's what drives us.
We're bringing back industry to the United States. I think that's a lot of pride in that. Let's see where we go from here.
You know, I do feel a sense of pride of what we've been able to build to this point, but also have a lot of excitement about what we're going to do in the future. In fact, I'm more excited today than I ever have been about the company.
All right. Well, today on the live stream, welcome everybody. I'm here with, as you saw on that awesome video you guys have, showing some of the manufacturing and things we're going to talk about today. I have none other than Blake Vincent from Principal LED with me. Blake, welcome.
Thanks, Brian.
And before we get into it, just want to kind of explain to people, if you want to ask a question, just type in the chat box either on Facebook or YouTube, and we'll be able to see them over here. We'll bring you on screen, not you physically, but your question, and then we'll answer it live on the air for you. So first off, we'll hop into it. Blake, how is everybody down in San Angelo, Texas right now?
Hey, good, Brian. Hey, I appreciate you having me on, and honored to be here. And but no, everybody's safe. We're doing fine. You know, I feel like, you know, you've been out here to Little West Texas, and I feel like we're pretty rural and isolated out here. So I don't know if we're getting hit I don't think we're getting hit as bad as other parts of the country, but I do want to just express my condolences for anybody that's struggling through this. And, you know, we're hoping everybody's being safe. And I think we're seeing some positive things out there. And I think we're all going to weather this and get through this fine and come out stronger on the other end. And so thanks for asking, Brian. I hope everybody that's on there today is their families and their businesses are safe and healthy. I know it's been a struggle, but we're all going to get through this.
Definitely. Yeah. It's been interesting for sure. I know a lot of people, including you guys, a lot of companies out there, a lot of sign companies I talk to right now, they're making pivots in their manufacturing, much like we hear about GM and Ford all doing the same. A lot of sign companies out there making face shields and different things to, I guess you could call it to support the good fight. Principal, obviously doing the same thing. Can you tell us a little bit about what you guys have been doing to pivot business during this?
Well, I think a couple things. I mean, we're all getting creative, and we're all figuring out ways to fill revenue gaps possibly. And but I think we're also doing things that are just good causes. I mean, we're trying to do things that are right, and it's not always just about revenue, and it's about doing the right thing and making sure we're doing our part. And so, a couple things. One, we've recently we've done one thing here locally in our community is we've provided 100,000 face masks to the entire city. I mean, that'll be happening later, I think, this week, where we've worked with the Health Foundation here in San Angelo, and we've worked with our mayor and local government to disperse and get out 100,000 face masks to each citizen here. So that's one thing we're doing, and we've had some other local businesses really help fund this and support it. So it's a good example of a community coming together and trying to do our part. But we've also, from the office, we have these sterile lead units, which are germicidal sterilization devices that Brian's pulling up the actual web page right now. So you can go down, look at the data sheet, and this is a device. So there's a video that a news story that was done on us about this, and we're seeing success with this right now. It is a really commercial industrial grade. It's a lot different than what you'd find if you just Google search, UVC sterilization. This is really high-powered UVC that it's handheld and portable, so it'll sterilize most bacteria and viruses within seconds. Whereas a lot of the stuff that you see out there on the web, when you just do a Google search, it looks like it's the same type unit, but it might take a minute to 3 minutes just to sterilize a small area and really kill that bacteria, where we can do it in typically less than 5 seconds. So this is a new device that we're just coming out with. We'll be we're still launching our web. I mean, our web page is done, but we're still doing some tweaks there. And by the end of this month, 1st of May, we'll be in full production to be able to sell these. So we're already taking pre-orders. We've had some good success with it. It is being sold through our standard distribution network. Or Science Supply distributors have the ability to sell this, and so you'll hear more about it. But that's one of the things that when you talk about pivoting, Brian, and doing things that can help generate some revenue and also do a good thing at the same time. That's what it is.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's, I mean, we were all obviously supposed to be down in sunny Florida a few weeks ago for ISA, and that's been postponed till August. But if people were to have come and what are some of the exciting new things? I know we have a lot of products and a lot of, I would say is we have a lot of products that were coming out, but we also have so much in the value added side of things, between partnerships with Crotech and our LED layout software and everything else. Can you kind of give people a glimpse of what they would have seen or heard about down at ISA if we were down there a few weeks ago?
Yeah, sure. Actually, I wish this. I felt like we were having a big coming out party at this. ISA. I mean, we had a new booth that was really our marketing team did an exceptional job with, and it was obviously really focused around the new U.S. manufacturing. Y'all saw the video of that, but we're now up and fully running and making modules here in the U.S. We just launched which is called our Patriot series. Okay. We have 4 different module options within that family. And so anywhere from 120 lumens, there you go, 120 lumens a foot up to 240 lumens a foot. And all those, that whole family is being made 100% here in our Texas facility. So you saw some of the technology and investment that we've put in here into automation robotics. And we didn't do that, just because of all this happening. We started this process 18 months ago. We felt like it's important to my brother and I to bring manufacturing back to the U.S., diversify, not away from. We have some of the best overseas partners, and we're not moving away from them. They are there. We can't make 100%. I mean, we can't make all of our product line here in San Angelo, but we felt like, hey, we want to diversify. And how do we diversify? Well, let's do it here. But a lot of it's you said there. I think on that video it says, hey, there's a lot of pride in what we're doing, and we're fortunate enough to get to service and be part of an industry that it fits Brian and I's mold. And we're very blue collar guys, and we service a very blue collar industry. And I think it's something to be proud of that we're creating jobs here. I mean, we've had to all pull back a little bit, but we've had very little layoffs or anything like that would be substantial. So as we come out of this, I think we're going to be able to create more jobs and put more people back to work here in our factory here.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So I think sorry, Brian, I kind of got off pace there, but that was one of the things that you had seen at ISA was our focus around this new U.S. manufacturing. But we were also launching Crotech, and Crotech is a partnership that we've created with really on a RGB and color changing and control side and implementation side. I mean, as people know, RGB can be somewhat complex, especially as you get into high level DMX controls and wanting to do some really creative automation. And controls. So we partner with a company called Crotech. They're out of Las Vegas, and they help us with the control piece of it and implementation piece of it. So you would have seen a lot of color changing. We launched a new flex border product. And so those have been probably the two key things that you would have seen there. And then on top of that, our LED Wizard platform, we would have been doing live demos there of the new software, the new LED Wizard 8, and then, how that can be incorporated from not only just doing your own layouts, but then moving that over to your router and being able to implement on that on the production side of things.
Gotcha. Going back real quick, I see a question out there. Shout out to Jelly Duck. Does that really help for stereo LED? I have got this question, and it brings up a good point. What do we like? What kind of data do we have as far as like what the sterilizer kit? Do we have that available? Like what it kills and
Sure.
where to use it and what it won't do?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you'll go to our website there that Brian had pulled up, and you'll look at, there's a data sheet there, and there's you'll see what this has been SGS tested by, and that's kind of one of the leading laboratories in Geneva that actually tests these things for how many millijoules you have to have to the surface, how long it has to be over that, whatever the area that you're trying to sterilize, and how long that takes, and what type of bacteria and viruses that this has been tested on. So there is, as you scroll down on that sheet, Brian, you'll see it. It'll say strep and other different germicidal bacteria and viruses like MERS and SARS and things like that, how long that will, what distance you kind of need to be away from that, and how long you need to sterilize that area to kill it. And that's the beauty of this Steriled unit, is that it's faster than everything else because of the power that it puts out and so forth. So it will really, you can see in certain cases, you can kill 99% of bacteria and germs within 5 seconds in some cases. So, wow. Although one thing, it has not been tested, and nor have any of these devices really at this point been tested on COVID-19, but they still fall within the same, what I call their cousins and families of MERS, SARS, those type of viruses, and these have been proven to work on those. So, okay, there'll be more. We're working with FDA now to get it FDA approved. We're working with UL to get it UL, but in a lot of cases, we're in a time of crisis and pandemic here. And we have a lot of links there that'll show where these UVC devices are already being utilized out there, and they're having great success with them.
Okay, cool.
Good question, Jelly Duck.
So back to, I'll shift gears again back to kind of ISA and Crotech and everything. I've seen a ton of, in my travels and talking to customers and stuff, I've seen a ton of people, RGB is just going nuts for like out of nowhere. All of a sudden, just everybody wants all their lights to dance. So can you kind of touch base on the, like, our partnership with Crotech and what their
Sure.
capability is. Just an overview real quick of how they fit into the PLED puzzle.
Yeah, I mean, I think we had one piece of the puzzle at PLED. I mean, we've always done RGB, but I would call it very basic controls. So if you want a set of channel letters to be able to do 15 to 18 different control functions by our basic controller, where you have a little handheld color wheel that you can change and have preset settings. Those little easy, I call those easy jobs. They don't really involve Crotech, but now we're seeing people want to do city blocks. We're seeing people want to do multiple buildings and control that from their laptop. So all of our LEDs are DMX compatible, but you have to incorporate different higher level controls. And then the implementation of it is what's challenging. I mean, it seems pretty straightforward, but as you're with your basic stuff, and we can provide diagrams and layouts for those real easy jobs. But when you get into that high level of control, that's where Crotech is the experts. I mean, they've done things for big concerts. I mean, stuff that you see on Super Bowl type halftime events. That's the type of stuff that they can do.
Las Vegas Strip. It's all over out there. Yeah.
Exactly. What I've seen happen is, companies think, oh, well, I'm going to save money by kind of trying to do this myself. At the end of the day, if we bring in Crotech and they do it right from the beginning and it goes over very well, that is, you spend more time and money sometimes having to deal with that later because it didn't get implemented up front, right up front.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's really the partnership with Crotech. They're not about selling LEDs or controllers. That's really our job.
Yep.
They're about the implementation and then being able to set the controls and do that in a very easy manner that you can control multiple buildings, multiple city blocks from your laptop.
Another shift. We have a question from the wonderful Adam Yorson. Wants us to touch base a little more on the Patriot series.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say it's our first launch with a 24-volt system as a module. But yeah, what's the I guess what makes it stand out versus Quick Mod and everything else we have to offer?
Well, I think that's a good point, Brian. It's our first 24-volt module system. I mean, that's first thing. And then obviously it's our first 100% USA made module here. So, there's been a lot of talk about 24-volt and that, we've heard that, oh, it's always the best way to go. Well, that we know that's not the case. There's reasons why 12-volt makes more sense. And there are also there are times and jobs where 24-volt makes sense. So that is the difference between Quick Mod. Quick Mod is a 12-volt system. It's still been our workhorse and go-to family. It's not going anywhere. It's still going to be as a go-to product for us. But there are times when you're doing longer runs and different things that you need 24-volt for, and that's where this module system comes into play. So it's really based on the same platform as Quick Mod. The modules look very similar. The optics are all this are the same. So you're still getting that 170 degree, well, not batwing, but even really prismatic optic that even spreads that light further. But it is it's made here in the U.S. as well. So it's there you go. There's a photo of it. So it's very low profile, wide optic, and you get some additional run footage out of it. So just like all of them, it has a quick release tab on it. So it has those same features as our Quick Mod family. Yep.
I don't have any nails right now, and I could still peel these really easily. So
you don't need nails there.
No, it's great, and we're going to be able to do a lot of unique things with it. On the program end, right? I mean, we're going to be able to sit there and, I don't want to talk ahead of the game necessarily, but we're going to be able to do things like different Kelvin temperatures and things like that, and on shorter runs because we're not working with a factory somewhere else and getting approval there. It's all at home.
Well, that's one of the keys is that, look, you saw in the video where it says, hey, we can do custom color tips or custom runs. The ability to have now just the raw materials here, Brian, and being able to, somebody says, hey, I want a 4,000K in one of those 4 options of Patriot. We're not waiting weeks or sometimes months to get that from our overseas partners. We have all those raw materials in-house here in Texas. We can build you a prototype so that you can get it to your customer so that he can prove it for a program or a job. And then we can then go into full manufacturing production on it immediately. I mean,
Awesome.
we have our set color temperatures and set standards on the Patriot series across all 4 different options.
Yep.
But where this is, I mean, we can create, keeping reels of, and we're keeping those anywhere from 3,000 up to 7,000 in 500 increments. So if somebody wants a 3,000, 3,500, 4, 45, 5, again, those are all raw materials right here on our floor that we can customize and turn around that real quick for get approval on a program.
That's awesome. Yeah. And I think, I mean, that's one thing I've always, since representing Principal, which is, believe it or not, 5 years now.
Yeah.
But since the beginning, that's always been my thing, is like how quickly we were able to adapt and help people. And now it's just skyrocketed the amount of time. I mean, the prototyping and things like that with our assembly of our stick products, I've always been impressed with. And now having that ability with modules too is just gonna, I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, thanks. That's the key, is that, look, we exist to simplify the lives of our customers. And the way you do that is, look, quick turnaround times, getting them something custom that meets their specific needs. So, we always joke, we always said this on the stick family, we'll put anything on it. We're like the state fair. We'll put anything on a stick. Right. But we'll do that with modules now. And, you tell us, hey, I need something at 200 lumens a foot. I need it in a 3,500K, and I need it with this wire spacing. No big deal. We'll customize it for you if that's what you need.
That's awesome. I don't see any other questions out there, but I'll throw one out there real quick to talk about. So we, with all these different, we always have a lot going on. That's, I don't know how your marketing team, controls it and stays sane, because there's always something new happening, always a new product, or we're always pivoting or whatever. But with the new, I know we already launched it a little while ago now. It's been out there for a little bit, but I think with, Patriot and all the US manufacturing, it sometimes gets lost in the shuffle a little bit, but that's the Pinnacle stick.
Yeah.
And I've seen it out there with the PosiTap system. People like it, but a lot of people don't realize we have it in both 24 and 12. Is there, have you seen one or the other? Are they about even, or how have you seen it as far as the industry accepting it? The 24 version versus the 12 volt version.
Well, they both have their benefits. I mean, our 12 volt version, which is our tap out stick, which is still our number one seller in sticks, it's because of it has the highest level lumen output. So when you're lighting up a big double-sided or retrofitting a big double-sided, let's say pretty deep flex face sign, that tap out can still be the go-to product there and make a lot of sense. The difference between the Pinnacle and going to 24 volt there is we did go down in lumen output a little bit. So it's not as bright as a tap out, but by shifting over to 24 volt there on that one version, it allows us to cut those power supplies down significantly. In an 8x10 double face cabinet, with the tap out, you would have 8 60-watt drivers or 420 watt drivers in that double-sided cabinet. Yep. Now you've cut those power supplies down to maybe with 96 watt drivers, you've cut that down to, instead of 8 of them, you've cut that down to 3 or 4 in some cases, depending on the configuration of that. But so it's really, it obviously reducing power supplies cuts labor time down, installation time down, or labor and installation time down, wiring, all those things that are benefits while you're up in a sign doing a retrofit. I mean, look, we felt like we've designed and patented the easiest system out there, because all of our sticks go directly into the socket. You don't have to have an adapter. I mean, that's what we really patented, was a direct into socket stick that allows that installer to get in and out of that sign really quick. And so I think the pinnacle now is the Pinnacle 24 volt, I should say, is probably going to be our workhorse going forward. I mean, it's less power supplies. It gets the lumen level where it still needed to be to get up to that fluorescent look. And then, of course, instead of now using the posi tabs on that we did on the 12 volt version, with the 24 volt version, it's like our other ones where it just has the custom wire whips on there. So you're not having to tie wire on and do that. It's already there for you.
It's already there. That's awesome.
Yep.
And just like the tab out sticks on the Pinnacle 24 volt, we can customize the lengths of those whips too, I'm assuming.
We'll do whatever. I mean, look, I mean, anything, that, Brian. I mean, again, that goes to simplifying the lives of our customers. We'll do whatever, but standard wise, if it's under 4 feet, it gets a 3 foot whip. Above 4 feet, it gets a 6 foot whip. So we'll customize it. However, if somebody wants, we have Molex machines here. If you want Molex connectors on female, male on your power supply that can just plug and play to your stick, we're happy to do that as well. We'll do whatever makes sense for you and speeds up our customers' time.
That's awesome. Well, we're coming up on a half hour here already. I don't see any other questions out there. So, I mean, Blake, as always, it's always a pleasure being with you. Hopefully we can be out on the road together soon.
Yeah.
The virtual stuff, it's great to keep us connected and stuff, but it's just not the same. So,
right. Brian, I want to say thanks as well. I mean, guys, Yorston company has been phenomenal partners. We couldn't be better. I think we have the best sales team out there. And we appreciate everybody's support. And, if there's any other questions come up later, I think my email was there earlier. If not, just, it's on the website or whatever. Please reach out to us. And we want to thank all of our customers that joined this today, and appreciate everybody.
Matt Smith has a quick question about wine. He's asking what wine is behind my head. It's empathy wine from Gary Vaynerchuk. So yeah,
there you go. I'm sure that's up to Mark Granberry standards.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I appreciate everybody. Thank you again. If you, Adam, I'll throw this one up for you, Blake.
All right.
It says we have a great. Who's your favorite sales rep?
I'm going to pass on that one.
Exactly. No, but yeah, seriously, thank you guys. And if you do have any questions, throw them in the comments. And then, even after this is over, we'll still see all the comments and everything. So if you have questions, we'll still answer them in the live, on the replay. And then, other than that, Blake, appreciate the time. I'll let you get back to it, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Brian. Everybody be safe.
All right. Take care.